Welcome to the Paranormal Activity. Welcome to the Paranormal Activity. This is a podcast about horror movies and horror and things that make your skin crawl. I'm Sarah.
I'm Nick.
And today we're going to talk about some movies. Can I jump in real quick with something? Okay.
Go for it, please.
So this morning, because I've been putting it off, I like hate watched Popeye The Slayer Man.
Oh, that's right.
You're a monster.
Oh yeah. What? Oh yeah.
I did.
You finally got to it, yeah.
I finally got to it. So I have it on our Plex. So I was able to watch it at 1.5 speed. Which is genius.
Yeah.
I love that I could do that. And so I kind of knocked it out in a little under an hour. Here's the thing. It's not like terrible. It's USA Up All Night.
Okay.
Sexy
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly what you're talking about.
Murders. But I will spoil it. You're good with me spoiling it, right?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So I'm spoiling it. It's because it's not about the end. It's about the ride.
I don't think the story. I'm gonna be like, wait a minute.
Wait.
What all the stories about it? Yeah.
He's a good guy. It was somebody else. So it's about a sailor man who works at a spinach canning factory.
Yeah.
And he's in the spinach canning factory, and it's derelict, and people go there and he kills them. And that's kind of the basis of the movie, is he kills them. He's it's supposed to be it's like an urban legend. He's like an urban legend, but everyone's like, oh, don't go to the canning factory. There's the Popeye The Slayer Man's gonna get you. But he's real or whatever.
Yes, gotcha. Yes.
Yeah.
It's one of those things if you go here, you do this, this person. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And so this a documentary crew goes to seek the legend of the Sailor Man, Sailor Man, and so they go there, and people are getting picked off. He first of all, good for him to just he doesn't have to go anywhere. He's just in this derelict factory, and they come to him. It's like DoorDash for victims. They just he never leaves. So it's people keep finding reasons for people to show up for him to
of course,
smush their heads.
Does he do that a lot? I'm seeing pictures of him just grabbing people's heads. Yeah,
that's really his main thing is taking people by the head and smushing it. Yeah,
because he's got those giant forearms.
Yeah.
Now a question.
Yeah,
and I want to hear more. Quick question: do they ever address that in this world, Popeye the Sailor Man cartoon exists, or is it just we're not even gonna? It's just we don't know. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But it's just that there was this sailor who used to work at this spinach factory. It closed down. It's done. He lives there. He never left. And if you show up and get there, he's gonna kill you. Yeah,
you come to his home and he kills you, and that's really kind of all you know. But in this universe, there is no. It's him as a person.
That's the care. Okay, and they don't address because I saw that they made him look like Popeye. He's got the weird chin face thing, and he's got the giant forearms. Do they ever address any of that, or is it just nope? That's just what he looks like.
Well, so the thing is, and this is fun because there's a lot of movie, and then they end up in his bedroom where everything's kind of laid out, all the newspaper clippings and photographs, and everything is oh look, the backstory, all right there in front of you, and everyone's
you've been waiting for.
Yeah, exactly. Oh look, red string, perfect. So what is just sort of jumped to is that there's something the spinach was toxic, and it was glowing green, and he eats it, and it turns him into this mutant, and so now he kills people. And olive oil
oh yeah
was his wife and an investigative reporter, and she was investigating the canning factory and disappears. So that's kind of what we learned. But here's the thing is it's just they're watching him, and he eats the spinach, and it's glowing green, and he's and then he just sort of walks away, and they're that's what's making him kill people. And it's Well,
Yeah.
no A to B.
Yeah.
Absolutely no A to B. Like, he could just be a psycho killer who likes to eat gross, toxic food.
Yeah.
And that has happened. Yeah, and so, like, I will spoil the end that, like, so whatever, there's like the two, like the final girl and final boy, there's like the final couple. They're like, it's not really him. He's not really doing the murders. It's because he's eating these things that's making him murder people. And it's like that. First of all, no, that's a person does a murder. You can't point to like a substance.
Yeah, I mean,
And
I understand like, oh, this drug is affecting this person, but like they're still doing it. Like they're still
Yeah.
consciously taking the drug and then going and killing the people. Yeah.
Yeah, but they go immediately once they see that, like, oh, he's eating the spinach. He's a good person inside. It just all of the like horrible things he's doing to people, ripping off skulls, crushing heads indiscriminately, and they're like, no, we must come back and save him and take care of him. It's like, I get like it's people go through things that's not. He still did them. Like, they're like two of their friends are like and they're good friends that they brought into this whole situation, and like he didn't kill them directly, they died by accident, but they don't know that. So it's like, he killed our two best friends. We'll come back for you, Sailor Man.
We'll save you. Do they go and save him?
Not yet. Probably Slayer Man 2, and I guarantee you it's like being written as we speak.
They made like I've told you, I tried to watch Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey, the first one, and both times I tried to, like, I need to hate watch that one because I was like, I can't. It's so weird. It's because I've watched bad movies and been like, this is delightful, this is fun, it's goofy, it can be low budget, it can have good effects, whatever, but it's just kind of hard. But they made a second one, and the second one's supposed to be good. I've talked about that, but it's crazy because after that one, because I think it kind of released in theaters, and it didn't get great reviews. It was pretty much panned. They still made a sequel, and now they're creating a whole universe of this stuff. So
yeah, they cut to like a little toy like Winnie the Pooh in Popeye the Slayer Man. And I was like,
so it is part of so he is part of that world. That's what I was wondering.
That might be, it might be part of the universe because it's Winnie the Pooh. It's
Winnie the Pooh, Popeye, Peter Pan, I believe, because that one came out.
Okay.
It had a real limited release, but it came out. Peter Pan is one of them. I believe there's a Pinocchio that either has come out or is coming out. And I think there's going to be a Bambi about a killer like deer. There's a Bambi, and there's a couple others, I think.
I'm into
it. They did because with the guy, what's his name? David Horton. I feel bad, I always forget his name. He's got a 3-word name. Really nice guy, but he plays the Terrifier. He plays Art the Clown in Terrifier. They've done some spin-off stuff, but I don't think they're a part of the world because he did the Mean One, which was a Grinch horror movie where he played the Grinch as like somebody who kills people. Which to me, I was like, that one makes the most sense. Like, turn the Grinch into like a killing person, a murderer. And then Screamboat Willie came out recently.
I haven't seen that yet, but I've seen like I watched the trailers for it.
Yeah, and I didn't get to see it. I wanted to, but it was playing like at one theater at like 10 p.m. and I was like, I'm not gonna go all the way out in the city just watch. No. So I'm curious about it, and he plays Screamboat Willie, and I think that one is its own thing too. But I think another company is making a a scary version of Steamboat Willie or something like that. Or there's one that came out. I'm sorry, it came out or it's going to come out, and it's Mickey Mouse. It's not Screamboat Willie, but it's because they were technically the same, but they spread it out. There was one they did about Mickey Mouse, and I forgot what it's called, Mousetrap or something, but it's like an evil.
Oh yeah, Mousetrap. Yeah.
Isn't it Mouse? Okay, it is Mousetrap. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not the board game. It's Mickey Mouse, evil Mickey Mouse. Yeah.
Yeah, but can they do that? Because Disney is litigious.
Yeah, but the thing is they had Winnie the Pooh, and then that went into the public domain. And that's when everybody jumped on it, and then Steamboat Willie was their big tentpole. That's the start of Mickey Mouse, and I think because that went into the public domain, technically Mickey Mouse, and I'm sure they parody it. I'm sure parody laws, they were able to get around it and be like, we're not going to call him Mickey. We're just going to call it Mousetrap. He's going to look vaguely like Mickey Mouse, but I think parody laws.
Yeah.
And because of what's in the public domain, they were able to swing it. But like people are going crazy of just getting all this like Disney IP and just turning it into horror.
That's
Like,
insane.
it's pretty funny. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's amazing because like a friend of mine is like an artist. She's an illustrator, and her stuff is all on like Redbubble and like Etsy and stuff, like to sell like her stuff. And anything that has the word princess, they strike.
Really?
Disney takes down anything that even has the word princess in it.
Wow. 'Cause, like, yeah, they are very serious about their stuff. But I didn't know. Yeah, that's crazy.
You know, I watched it on 1.5, which I think is a good way to, if you just have to watch something. Like, I mean, I watched other things that I enjoyed this weekend, which was nice. But yeah, I love the Plex that I now, because I do that on like YouTube. I'll put everything at like 1.25 just to kind of, because I'm just like, I gotta get a place to be.
Yeah. Just,
I don't have anywhere to be, but I just want to get through it.
Is it kind of long for what it should be, or is it like an hour and a half?
I think it's an hour. I think it's like an hour 20 and 27. I think it's
okay.
You know, pretty standard.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that is. I was afraid that they were like it's 2 hours. I'm like, this, no, you don't need to be 2 hours.
I do want to see a haunted Teddy Ruxpin. Is that a thing that happens?
No,
yet?
but it should be.
That's so smart. I want that.
That is a great idea. See, that's the one where it's like that makes sense, because I remember those things were. I had one. Those things were creepy.
Terrifying.
Or Furby. They could do a Furby too, but I don't know if that's in the public domain. Those were fucking. My friends found. They went. Was it last year? They were a couple, and they went to one of his home in Texas, and found a bunch of like, because my buddy's parents were moving, and so he was grabbing stuff that they were like, if you don't take this, we're gonna get rid of it. So he grabbed a bunch of like childhood stuff, and they found his Furby, and they're like, this will be funny, and it hadn't been turned on, and they turned it on, and it was one of those things like, and I remember this happening when they first came out, like it's kind of hard to just turn them off, and like you're like, okay, you're done, you're quiet, and then like in the middle of the night it'll be like, meh, 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 and you're like, the fuck is happening? Yeah. And they forgot, because like they'll go silent for a while and then come back, and it's very, and then they were like, we didn't, and it was kind of broken so it wouldn't turn off, so I don't know, it was very crazy.
That's terrifying.
Yeah,
we can go down the road of that. Okay. I remember when my niece was like a baby, we got her a Tickle Me Elmo that was not charged properly. It must have been like the display one that people played with a lot.
Yeah,
and it was like the Christmas night, it was like off in the corner being like making horrifying noises.
Jeez.
Yep.
No,
that was a creepy.
Yeah. I saw the Shrouds, which is the new David Cronenberg film.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and it's Vincent Cassel and Diane Kruger and Guy Pearce. Those are the main ones, right? Mm-hmm. And it was his new movie. Apparently, there's been reports that it's going to be his last movie. I don't know if that's true. I just heard from someone else, but I was like, I haven't heard anything official. And it sounded interesting. And I'm gonna say this: I'm a big David Cronenberg film. I haven't seen every one of his films. Mm-hmm. I love body horror. It's if not my favorite, one of my favorite genres of horror. Mm-hmm. And I've seen one of his, like when he was like, I'm gonna take a break from horror, and he did like the 2 movies with Viggo Mortensen, mm-hmm. History of Violence and Eastern Promises. I've only seen Eastern Promises, but I loved it. And his old 80s stuff and all his like his career's gone up and down. And like I remember a couple years ago he did Crimes of the Future with Viggo Mortensen, which is like, I'm gonna do another movie with Viggo Mortensen, but it's gonna be one of my body horror movies. Mm-hmm. And I liked that one, and I thought it was very interesting, the concept and like what it had to say, and about like microplastics and plastic waste. Like it had this whole interesting concept to it, and like using your body as like a kind of a canvas, because people would do like surgeries on themselves as like art pieces and stuff, and I liked it. Very weird, but I liked it. So I was excited about the Shrouds. The concept was like cool. The idea for a bit, like the one that started out, I was like, this is neat. And then the problem with it is that it constantly every time it wanted to be like a twisty turny thing, but then at the end of it all, a lot of the people that were giving information, it's kind of revealed that it's all kind of really unreliable. So it was really like, what the fuck is true and what isn't, and a lot of it was just like fake, and so I don't know, it was just kind of gobbledygook at the end, and I didn't like it. It was fun. It was an idea of like this guy who's obsessed with like he's very like voyeurism kind of dude. He owns he did like industrial work or something. Like he directed industrials, but he since made his money and he's become obsessed with like he co-owns a cemetery, and there's even a restaurant in the cemetery. And you find all this out because his wife died, and he's on this date, and she's like, it's weird that you took me to a restaurant but you know, in the cemetery. And he's like, well, I own the restaurant. She's like, oh, that's crazy. He goes, I own some of the cemetery. And the whole concept is he's created this part of a cemetery, and he wants to build it out. He wants to make more cemeteries like this, where it's a huge, fancy looking futuristic headstone. And there's like a video, and you have this app, and it's very like secure, and you only access it, and you turn it on, and you can see your loved one because they're in these shrouds, these special shrouds that they created that are like cameras, and you can see them decomposing, and you can see their bodies, and you can see inside and all of their like all the stuff that's happening. And it's because he's like, I felt so sad that she was going to be in there alone, and I couldn't be there, and she was just going to be decomposed. And he's, you know, you could tell he's kind of obsessed with death in a way, and like the voyeurism of watching all that, and he's just kind of like figuring it out. But he sees some weird things on her. Do you care if I spoil any of this, or?
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna say it. Yeah.
Okay. He sees like weird stuff on the body, so he takes it to this one guy. I'm not even gonna be able to spoil it because it's so like. So then he gets Guy Pearce, who used to be his because his wife, who is Diane Kruger, has a twin that is also Diane Kruger, but his wife is dead now, but her sister is still alive, and she was married to Guy Pearce, but they divorced. And Guy Pearce used to do all like the haptics and the computer stuff for him. But it's, you know, you get an idea that Guy Pearce is a very kind of paranoid, schizophrenic, kind of on edge dude. And the sister's a little neurotic too. And you find out all this stuff, like his wife, the other twin, in flashbacks, she had this like bone cancer. And I've never heard of this. I believe it's possible of like, you know, this destroying your bones, but she became super fragile. But she was being like to the point of like if he held her, like she would just like a bone would break. But like she was working with this oncologist who you find out was her ex. She had an affair with him when she was a student, and he was her professor. And it was weird that he was working on her. But the flashbacks show her like wearing this weird collar, and she'd be like, "Oh, they're calling me. I have to go." And he's gonna look at me. And then she leaves naked, and then comes back naked, and is missing her left breast and left arm. And they're like, "Oh, it spread it, so they had to take it out." And she's like, "Are you okay with that?" He's like, "Yeah, of course." And it's weird back and forth, and he keeps like taking pieces of her, and they're like, "Oh, I think he did something to her." But then, and there's all this other stuff, and then Guy Pearce is like, "Oh, I think your thing isn't secure." Oh, and there's this AI, special AI that Guy Pearce made for him called Honey, that's modeled after his wife, but they're like, don't trust her. And then you find out Guy Pearce has been controlling it, and then he tells this crazy story that he hired these Russian guys to vandalize, because what sets it all off is that his fancy cemetery got vandalized. And he's like, Guy Pearce was like, "Oh, I was jealous of something because I thought you were sleeping with my ex-wife." But then he eventually does sleep with his ex-wife. And he tells us, but Guy Pearce says all this stuff, and he has all this crazy stuff's happening. The Chinese government is after him because they think he's working with the Russians, but he's not. It just happened that he did this. Cut to, he's talking to Diane Kruger, his sister-in-law, and the ex-wife to Guy Pearce, and she goes, I don't think any of that's true. You know, he makes himself all the time. And they're like, right? Because this doesn't add up. And then he goes, he showed a missing finger. She goes, he's been missing those fingers since shop class. Like, so then you're like, so all of that was bullshit. So it kept like revealing stuff and then saying that was bull. It was just so convoluted, and it just goes on. And then there's another dead body in there with his wife, and it's the oncologist that was her ex-husband. And then it's kind of like maybe revealed that he killed him and he said all this. It's so, I don't know. It was just so, maybe I missed some stuff, but I was just like, I don't know. This is kind of bonkers.
Yeah. I struggle when they like set you up with all of the stuff that you invest in the story, and then it's just sort of like, nope.
Yeah, it's just like nope. And like a lot of people are saying like, and it's gotten good reviews, and people are saying like it's his commentary like on grief, because I believe his wife died fairly recently, and it's his thing. And like, sure, power, hey, use your art to like get your stuff out. I just was like this, and I'm a big Cronenberg fan usually. I couldn't get into it. No.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah.
That's too bad.
Yeah,
It did. I mean, I don't know, like the cemetery part of like watching someone, that is very interesting.
That's the thing, is there was really cool elements to it. Oh, and there's this whole other thing about this rich guy who wants him to build a new one because he wants to get buried in it, and his wife works with him, and then he has an affair with the wife. There's so much happening.
It sounds like a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot.
What is a restaurant in a cemetery a good idea?
I mean, I was like, that's kind of cool, because I think the whole point is that, you go, you look at this camera of your loved one, you have that moment with everybody, and you go, okay, let's go eat, because it's right there.
Yeah.
And it looks like a really nice restaurant, and like they have the shrouds that they use like encased in the restaurant, so you can see what they look like. So I was like, oh, it's kind of like a whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I that's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't do that. Brunches would be crazy,
right? Because I was like, oh, has there ever been anything like that? Like maybe somewhere, anywhere in the world. There. I wouldn't be surprised if there was something. Yeah. But I was like, oh yeah, like a nice restaurant. We go, hey, let's go visit, our loved one, and then we'll have, we'll talk about them and we'll reminisce and everything. I was like, that's not a terrible idea.
Yeah, and then make it a little spooky for like little goth babies to go on dates.
Exactly. Oh, that's the thing. I would go to a restaurant in a cemetery, 100%.
Take a picture of myself.
Yeah, I'd be like, yeah, I made it. Yeah.
Amazing.
I'm
gonna talk. So let me talk about Sinners really quick.
Oh yeah, because you finally saw it. Yeah.
I did. So I won't take up too much time because I feel like we covered a lot of what I mean, what you had to say last week was like exactly how I felt. Like it, like yeah, like the beginning, the world, like the setting up of the world, and like all the time you spent, like you spend a lot of time before you get to the monsters, just like living with these people. And I was 1000%, if that was just the movie, I'd be good with it. If it was just about these people who are so like richly, beautifully made, and like this time period that was so like, I don't know, it was done so gorgeously, and I would have just lived in that world and watched that as a movie. And then monsters show up, and I'm like, yeah, now there's monsters. And the way they dealt with it was amazing. I took notes. Let me take a look at my notes. Yeah, the ending was very satisfying, which I'm not going to spoil anything because I do want people to go see it in the theater.
Yeah, and if you go, stay for the entire credits. Stay for all of it, because there's a thing all the way through. Yeah. Yeah,
because somebody told me that they're like, stay, and then there's like a little there's like credits, and then there's like a little scene, and so I watched that, and I was like, okay, great, let's walk. And then we were like, as we were walking out, the other thing started. And I was like, oh, okay, wait,
yeah, just there's one more thing to it. Yeah.
Just me and all the people ready to clean the theater, like.
Yeah.
So there were two things that kind of struck me. The concept of like the vampires being like, we want to start, just like, join us, we want to start a world. It was like, not like, I mean, obviously they are monsters and disgusting and like, but portraying them as like being like kind and like wanting to start like a love, and like, we want to be with you all the time. It's so good. Like that was it's such a cool twist for me to like see monsters portrayed as like not wanting to consume, but wanting to, like, they're still predators.
Yeah.
But like showing predators as having this like, just join us kind of mentality was really cool. I appreciated that a lot. And also I feel like in the wrong hands or in the wrong year, the story would have been like, the climax would have been like, big moment. And then like Tom Hanks would be like, take my hand. It would have been like, yes, this is a great story about Black history and taking care of it. But one of the good whites is gonna like help you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that thing of like, because that's like, once that was sort of pointed out to me, and it's like a very obvious thing, but it's not until someone points it out, where it's just like every like Black story, there's always like, oh, but then there's also like one of the good whites is gonna like help you out. And I'm glad that I'm aware of that now, and I'm glad that that's not happening in this one.
Well, just to interject real quick, one thing, because I've looked at a lot of things of people analyzing it, and one thing I really appreciate about it too, and it goes back to what you were saying about the vampires, is that um Remick, his whole thing, because he creates that whole like let's all live as one and be together, and the whole thing is people are like, he's not a white racist man. What he does is he's like presenting as this good old Southern boy who's like, yeah, because he needs to fit into that world, but he's really like, I just want to bring you all in. I don't care what your color is. And the whole thing is too, he's like, he wants to be connected to them because he misses his ancestral heritage. He misses what was taken away from him because he also had stuff taken away from him, because he talks about it. I love when he's like, yeah, like I also had, and when he goes into his Irish accent every now and then, because it's like so important for him. He's like, no, he's pretending to be this Southern white boy. He's from Ireland,
Right.
and he like is so connected to Sammy because he wants that back and he wants that community, and that's what he's trying to get. So it's very interesting how they said like they paint the monsters into, because then you eventually do see, you know, the clan and everything, but it's like how they do that was very interesting.
Yeah.
And I thought that was very important.
Yes, absolutely. It was like a really nuanced and like well done. Yeah, and also just and then showing the clan and having it. Yeah, because there's just I feel like there's always, whenever there's like the presence of anything that's clan related, there's always like but hey, it's very important that we center non-clan white people.
Yeah, there's like, still some good in there. Yeah,
it's like, but it's like, no, let's just talk. This is like the South. It was rough. Like, let's not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just, and it was beautifully done. And like I would not have made it anywhere to the Jew. The second I saw the Irish dancing, I'd be like, "What's this?" Rip. Like,
rip. Yeah, exactly. Well, some people were really getting on Mary, who, you know, Haley Steinfeld plays, which her character's so complicated because she's like a quarter black, or they explain, and Haley Steinfeld in real life is, and like they were saying how, but she's white passing, that's her whole thing, and how she wants to be with Stack, but like he knows they can't be together because she's so white passing that like they'll both get in trouble, and both terrible things will happen to both of them, and there's that whole sad aspect, which like, you know, then, but like it's I'm spoiling some stuff, but I hope for this side. Sorry, I just get into it. But like, the thing is, people, because like she goes out there and that's what leads everything. But I was like, those vampires were chilling out there. Like, if anybody at any point went out, they were waiting for somebody to come out there. So they go, go in there.
Yeah.
So, you know, and like I read some things where they're like, it was her white privilege that kind of got them in trouble, because she's like, let me go talk to them and make sure that they're okay. Because I'm so white passing that they'll let me see if they're legit, because you need real money and they probably have it.
Right.
And that was the thing that somebody explained, like the white privilege, and I was like, yeah, 100%. And and another thing that was pointed out to me, I was like, oh, 100%. Because speaking of the clan, when they show up towards the end, they just look like, you know, in so many movies when the clan shows up, they're like, we're the clan and we've got our Klansman outfits. And I was like, I didn't even think about this. But when they showed up, they were dressed regular, and it was like, that was so powerful, because you need to know that they're not always going to be like, look at me, I'm wearing this, and this is who I am. No, in our ages, in the age we live now, people are getting very open about that stuff. It's still to show that it can be anybody. It could be anybody. So it's the opposite of that. Like, there's some good white people. It's like, no, be careful. You don't know who you can trust. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, that way that like, the portrayal in the past has always been like, oh, they're a different species, right? They are so bad that they wear and they did cover up and wear those outfits that made them look very like non-human, but no, they're just like us, just like me. Oh no. My brother wanted to this is the beginning of the a song called Bury That Guitar. That's like this is the first song from Sinners.
Oh, yeah. I need to download the soundtrack, because the whole soundtrack is incredible.
All right. Have you already heard this? Or I hope this isn't... No,
I haven't. I mean, I've heard the song, but I don't know if it's something that they did with it, because I don't...
Okay. So, yeah. So let me just play this. My brother pointed this out. I wanted to just listen. Okay, and this is the theme song from Dawn of the Dead.
really cool. Well, I mean, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's a little bit on purpose
Oh yeah.
because Ryan Coogler has talked about like the influences for this movie are like there's so many horror, but there's other films like I love that the most recent Puss in Boots the sequel how they did a spin-off of Puss in Boots.
Mm-hmm.
There's a sequel that came out last year. No, not last year. A couple years ago. But it got a lot of great reviews, and I went to go see it, and it is really good. And it's crazy because one of the main antagonists of it, I don't want to even give it away, but it's this one character that's following Puss in Boots that's like wants to get him, and he keeps challenging him. And the reveal of what that character is and what it represents is so you're like, this is a kids movie, but the design of that character, Coogler used aspects of it in the vampires, in their eyes and stuff. He was like influenced by it.
Interesting.
And another big influence that I loved because one of my all-time favorite movies, if not my favorite movie, is From Dusk Till Dawn. I saw it as a kid and I was like, I love everything about this. It's Quentin Tarantino, it's Robert Rodriguez, it's these people acting cool, it's all these great actors and actresses and everybody, and it's just like here's this crazy heist thriller, and then it's vampires. And when I saw Sinners, I was like, I see a lot of Dusk Till Dawn. They're very different movies. They're their own movies, but I saw that. And he said, yeah, I was totally influenced by it. And I think that's one of the reasons why I just love Sinners so much, because it just reminds me of the things that I loved about that film.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so cool to see all the influences. And I love when a director does that. And it's not copying. It's not anything like that. It's, art imitates art. It always does that. You take ideas from what you want, and it's just great when they go, I like this aspect. I like this aspect. I want to pay homage to this thing. And I think it's like, it just shows that they're so steeped in that, like that style, that culture, that filmography and all that. And I think it's applied so well in this film.
Oh yeah. It wasn't like stealing. It was like, it's just like a nice, like, beautiful little inspiration, and the music, and both songs are so different. It's Zombie, who I love Zombie so much. And that's Lars Ulrich is the person who did the other one. So that was...
Yeah, I need to download the whole Sinners soundtrack because all of it is great. And the song at the end that's in the credits, I really loved a lot.
Yeah, I do. I want to listen to more of that.
I also saw. I feel like my two movies. I'm like, I also, and it's so hard after talking about Sinners. I saw the Surfer. Have you heard about it? It's a new Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. I was curious about that.
So it's not. And full take. I smoked a lot right before because we were like, let's see what this is like to watch it. But it made it kind of more interesting. It's well shot. It's well acted. The story's good, and it's getting good reviews. And my issue was that I liked a lot of it. And it was very interesting, and it was watching this like person kind of lose their mind, and it's Nicolas Cage. But I felt like, and I will just say this, so I don't want to say too much about this one because I want people really like, hey, if you want to check it out and see for yourself. My big issue was that it looked like it was going one way, and I was like, wow, if this is the concept of the film, I really like that idea. It's scary in a way and sad, and then it like goes, no, it's not that, it's this. And then I was like, okay, sure. And then it wasn't quite the same for me, and then it ends, and you kind of get the gist of it, but I was a little bit like, so I don't know, that was my only thing. But it's still, I think it's not like especially if you like Nicolas Cage, and like I said, it's very well done, it's very well acted, it's very well shot, it's very interesting. I think you still get a lot out of it, but I was like a little bit disappointed by the end. So, but it is like a psychological thriller, so I thought I'd throw it in because it's got horrific moments. So
yeah, I do like a psycho thriller. So. I took a look at like new stuff on Shudder just because I feel like I got away from that for a couple months and I needed to like just find something. So I watched a quick one. I watched The Devil's Business, which is like new on Shudder, and it's like it's like an Irish ghost story sort of. It's actually, I don't know, it was actually pretty good. It's really like, it's very slow. It's like it's very much like a play. I think it's just an hour long, maybe an hour 10, something like that. Very simple. And it's just these two hitmen who are like going to some guy's house to like kill him. And then there's like a lot of scary things that happen. And thinking back on it, it was actually pretty good. I mean, it is like slow, and it was like I watched it when I was a little sleepy, so I kind of drifted. So I had to kind of go back a couple times because there are long monologues. Like it's very much like a play. Like I could see it as on stage very easily. But yeah, it's this Irish, just these two guys just like talking, and it's creepy and very like one set. 3 people in total in the entire thing, you know, and it's it was pretty good. So I would say like if you're looking for something and you're looking for something short, it's from 2011, so it's not like
it's called The Devil's Business.
The Devil's Business. Yeah, it's an Irish movie.
Okay.
Like an little Irish ghost story sort of.
Did you ever hear about the Kill List?
Yeah, I watched the Kill List. I didn't love that.
Well, no, because I was going to ask you because that reminded me because it's like a guy who's like an assassin, and it's interesting because the way it all starts off, and it's like, but it's a horror film, but the way it starts off, and then it starts to get weird because it's like usually an Irish assassin has its own stuff, but then it turns into this other whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree. Like by the end of it, I was like, the concept sounds cool, but by the end of it, I was like, So
yeah. I couldn't quite remember, but I would say I enjoyed it, and there were good performances. The other thing I watched was I don't know how to pronounce it exactly. It's called The Rites of May. It's like a Filipino movie from 1976. Itim, Itim. But it's just the English version is The Rites of May. But it's and so it was this. It's like this like seminal horror film from 1976 that was recently restored. And they played it at Cannes in 2022.
It's super familiar.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It's really like it's slow, atmospheric, 1976, very much like you're sort of steeped, you're sort of in the world. Yeah, it was gorgeous. It was really I enjoyed it a lot.
And that's also on Shudder?
Yeah. It there were I won't really go into it too much. It's just like this photographer from Manila goes back to like his like small town to spend time with his father, and it's like during Easter, so there's a lot happening. There's like seances and a lot of like cool things, but again it's religious. It's not super religious horror, but there's a lot of elements of that, and it's kind of cool to see it to see like Catholicism is sort of portrayed as like occultism a little bit. Mm-hmm. It's kind of it's interesting to see it through that lens. So that was really cool, and the performances were great, and it was a lot of I don't know. I thought it was definitely very interesting. If you're in the mood for that kind of go back to like the olden times, it's restored really nicely. Yeah, so it's good. It's called Itim Rites of May.
Yeah, I just looked it up. ITIM. There's actually, I'm hoping because I have a little bit more free time because I haven't seen a lot of movies in theaters because I also saw like Thunderbolts and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I saw Thunderbolts last night. Did you like it?
I liked it a lot. I
loved it.
It's honestly one of my favorite. I went to go see it twice because I kind of saw it the first time and I was like, I want to watch it again. Mm-hmm. And I liked it the first time, but and I have A-list, so I see movies like crazy. That's why I saw like Sinners twice. I mean, I might go see Sinners again because I loved it so much. But it was one of my favorite Marvel films, and one of the things is because I love anti-heroes. I love the cast. It's so much fun. But it also, the way they deal with mental health and it being such an important thing in the film, you don't see that in those types of films. And I think it's really great that they put that in a Marvel film because it's going to make people be like, oh, there's going to be people that I think are going to see that and go, oh, I feel that. I didn't really think about it, and it's important. Mm-hmm. And there was a funny meme that I saw. Did you ever watch Euphoria?
A little bit, yeah.
I don't know if there's a very, it's a meme that they use a lot, and it's because it's that point where Maude Apatow makes that play that's based on all of them, and the one woman is like, wait, is this fucking play about us or something? She has
yeah.
And it was that meme, and over it said millennials watching Thunderbolts, and I was like, yeah, right, correct, yes. This will complain about us. I was like, yeah, because I remember both times. I'll be honest. Both times I watched the movie, I cried because there were scenes in it where I was like, yes, I am seen. I am being seen.
That's exactly how I felt. Where I was like, they're everywhere across the country. There are like dudes in there with their like group of friends. It's like whatever, any kind of person can, but just like showing up with their guys and just being like, these are my guys. This is my.
These are. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I get it. Yeah. Yeah.
We don't have to say it. We don't have to say it. It's all up there.
Yeah.
Oh, here's the other thing too that somebody brought up, because I saw whatever, like a TikTok or something about they mentioned it in Sinners, but I think it's also important in Thunderbolts about like men touching each other.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like it never occurred to me that it's like it's as much part of the fantasy of like saving the day as like hugging your male friend, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, like embracing having physical touch, like having physical love that's just like a friendship or a caring thing like that, because they don't do it as much anymore. Like I love when I see the memes, or I'll see like shirts or stuff that people make that it's like, tell your homies that you love them, or like boys tell you like that you love them, like normalize saying I love you to your guy friends and stuff like that. And I was like, oh yeah, it's very important.
It is, and that's something I never thought. I was so happy that was brought to my attention, because it never occurred to me that like that would be an important, that it is a big deal, because like men hugging, it's like it's really rare, and like then they put it's very thoughtfully placed into movies. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna try this week, because I have like a list of like these movies that I always find or I hear about, or ones that I wanted to, that are like older horror movies that I haven't seen, or you know what I did rewatch? I totally forgot about this.
What?
Well, it's kind of a rewatch, because I realized I never actually, and I did want to talk to you about this. I realized that I had never really sat and watched the film. It was one of those things, like it would be on TV or something, or I'd be home where they have cable, and I'd put it on and watch like a bit of it, or like the end of it. And there's this one very funny meme from it, but it's called Cursed, and there's a lot of movies with that name. In fact, there's a recent werewolf movie called Cursed that's very different, but this is the one. I gotta look up when it came out, but this is the one with Christina Ricci and Jesse Eisenberg. And it's basically, is it 2005? Yeah, it's 2005. This is crazy. It was directed by Wes Craven and written by Kevin Williamson, which is also the two that did Scream. This is the duo that created Scream and everything.
Right.
And Kevin Williamson, wrote Dawson's Creek, and all those things, and he wrote The Faculty. He was really big about writing all those like teen dramas and horrors, and Wes Craven. But I remember it kind of, it just kind of went away, and it didn't really do anything. But there's a lot of funny things in it, and there's like one, because I'm gonna spoil this because it's been out forever, and it's like, but like it's this whole thing that there's a werewolf and it's attacking people, and that they kill the original werewolf, and and who's the werewolf that's been killing people, and Joshua Jackson is the old werewolf, but he's not been killing people, and it's revealed that it's Judy Greer. But it's so funny because it's Judy Greer at like just peak Judy Greerness, awesome, amazing, and she's having fun. And there's a point where they try to draw her out, so they start and she's in a werewolf form, but they're talking shit about her, and she comes out and she's full like werewolf, like it's just her voice. It's obviously somebody else in the werewolf. Right. And she's like, she just says, "It's not true," and then she just flips him off as a werewolf, and it's this meme that people have used, and it's very funny.
Any other description?
Yeah, she's just like 5 seconds.
She's got a bony ass, and fat thighs, and bad skin.
But it was crazy to watch because it's also like Christina Ricci and Jesse Eisenberg are the big leads because they play brother and sister, and they look so young. They're just such little babies. Shannon Elizabeth is in it for a little while. Joshua Jackson's got a big part. Judy Greer's in it. Michael Rosenbaum. Maya.
Michael Rosenbaum.
It's like I think there's more. It's just Milo Ventim. I can never say his last name. Ventimiglia. He's in it too.
Yeah.
He plays a closeted jock. who's in love with Jesse Eisenberg. It's just so like, oh yeah, this is Kevin Williamson being like, I'm gonna make a teen drama that there's werewolves. And I rewatched it the other night because I don't know why something about it popped up, and I was like, huh, I'm curious. It's not great, but it's a funny watch. And then I looked into it, and apparently, when they made it, they got a lot of like interference from the Weinsteins, and they had them change a bunch of stuff, and they used Rick Baker's practical effects, and they were like, nah, scrap it, and you're gonna use CGI now. And they got real pissed, and at the end, like Wes Craven and Kevin Williamson were like, this wasn't what we made. They totally butchered it. I was like, that makes sense why it didn't, because I was like, you're the two that did Scream. So I don't know. It's a bizarre time capsule watch that if you get a time, and it's very easily to put on in the background and go do stuff. You can just kind of check it out.
Yeah,
And
right.
It's a very funny like teen drama take on the werewolf thing.
Yeah, that's fun. That is a nice period. That is a good period. What is it? That it was
2005. So it was like
2005.
early 2000s. Yeah.
That's a fun period to kind of go back to and watch.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a one that I totally forgot about. I don't even know why I remember it, but I watched that because there's all these movies that I've been putting on the list. So I'm gonna try to do that because I want to talk about those. And and if you want to watch horror, horror in a different way, I recommend the new season of The Rehearsal, the Nathan Fielder show that's on Max.
Oh, is it good?
Yeah. Did you ever watch the first season?
I watched like most of the first season. I think after a while I kind of dropped off when he was in the house with the woman.
Oh really? Oh, that's when it gets so weird and good. It's and then this one, it's kind of about aviation and stuff. I won't say too much, but like this last episode, I mean the episode before it's kind of unhinged, but this last episode I was watching stuff and I even rewatched it last night and I was like, how does this guy think of this stuff? And there are people that go, everybody who's working on the show, HBO is giving them money, and they're just like, let's fucking do this. And it's great. It's wonderful. And it's like you can't look away. It's great. So
Awesome. I will take a look at that.
Yeah.
Do you want to look, I made a quick list of stuff that's coming up. Do you want to?
yeah.
Fire.
I remember we talked about, we're like, isn't there a bunch of good stuff? And we couldn't, but there's like a bunch of really good. Oh, and I'm going to go see Friendship on Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
Which I think people are like saying it's like I Love You Man, but like the fucked up version. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be its own little harp. I'm very excited.
I love Tim Robinson so much. I'm very interested to see him like play serious. I think that's like the next. Is it serious?
Well, I saw a clip, and he's still kind of being a little bit like Tim Robinson. But I agree. I think he'll have those moments where he gets very like,
Oh yeah.
what's happening to me? Yeah. So yeah.
I always feel like that's the next the progression of like really good comedic actors is that they go serious, and I'm very here for it. I don't know I don't care what people have to say for it. Comedians, good comedians can play like the best drama.
Oh yes.
They
100%. 100%.
So Frankie Frico is on Shudder now. If you were interested.
Yes, it's great.
Yeah.
I saw it when it first came out, and they did a screening at Alamo, and the director was there. And he had some of the puppets. I even have pictures with the little puppets. It's delightful. If you like Gremlins and Critters and Hobgoblins and all those Puppet Master, all those dudes, that's what this movie is. It's made to be a homage to that. It's great.
Well, yeah, Little Stinkers. I didn't want to watch it on Sunday, but I did see that it was there. The Ritual is coming out. It's with Dan Stevens and Al Pacino. It's about
sorry, because there's also that movie about the dudes in the woods that's really good called The Ritual. Yeah, this is the new one. I saw the trailer for that one. That's like another possession exorcism.
Yeah, it's a possession exorcism, but it's got a lot of very good people in it. So
yeah, Al Pacino and Dan Stevens. Yeah, Ashley Green's in it. Yeah,
and obviously I'm like a big fan of of ye old religious horror. I had The Surfer on here, but we've already covered that. There's something called on June 3rd, Daydreamers is coming out. That is I just flagged this for you because it's a Vietnamese vampire thriller.
Ooh.
Takes place 400 years ago.
Wow.
That's all I know. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna look back to that. Yeah.
There's something called Room 6. I looked it up. The writer and director are pretty new, but it's about like a young woman working the night shift at a vacant rundown motel, and someone shows up. And that's kind of all the information I have for that one.
Sometimes it's good not to know too much about.
Yeah, it's a little bit my preference.
Yeah.
A desert.
A desert.
Yeah, it looks good. I'm trying to figure out what it's about because I feel like it's being presented with all the other like horror movies that are coming out, but I can't quite exactly figure out what it's about. I think it's like maybe a little bit like snuff film-ish. But I just thought it was interesting. Also, if you look at like the trailers, there's an actor in it who I thought was like that they had like digitally youngified Willem Dafoe. Like, and I'm sure he gets it all the time, and they leaned into it. His name is Zachary Ray Sherman. But if you look at it was just uncanny to me. But it's really it's got like a cool element to me.
What's it called again?
A desert. It's really hard to look up because there's tons of like movies that are called like desert or a desert movie, but it's a desert, and it's coming out if it hasn't already. I think it's going to come out.
Does it have a picture with like a guy like with like a camera on?
With a camera, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it technically came out last year. I mean, but it's getting released this year. Oh, it might have already been released. But yeah, I haven't heard anything about it, but this is interesting.
Oh. Yeah, so that looks interesting. Bring Her Back. I don't know when I have to look up when these things are coming out. Have you seen it yet, or is it?
No, it's not out yet. It's about to become out yet. But
Yeah.
that's the same dudes who did Talk to Me.
Talk to Me, yeah.
I've like purposely not really sat through a whole trailer because I was like, I think I really just want to like let that one happen to me because I love Talk to Me, and then this one, like, I kind of got some ideas of what it's about, but I was like, I want to just because sometimes these trailers just show you everything.
No.
And so I was like, nah, I want to go in pretty blind. And I love Sally Hawkins. I love Sally Hawkins. So
yeah.
I was
like, I looked at, I saw like, I have a quick, I did a quick like breakdown of it. So I kind of understand what's happening, but again, it's about the journey.
Mm-hmm.
The like weapons is the teaser for weapons. Like that doesn't show you anything. What it does show you is fucking creepy. I put footage in the last video we did, just so the kids running in like the black and white.
Did you see you've only seen the teaser? You didn't watch?
I've only seen the teaser. Yeah, I'm gonna try to go in blind for this one.
I watched it and I was like, should I not? Because I just talked about that. Luckily, the trailer's pretty vague too. It just gives you a little bit more like, here are the actors that are in it, and you get a kind of concept of like how people are like how the town is right, but it doesn't really tell you too much. And I was like, okay, that's good. I'm not gonna watch anything else of it. I'm not gonna watch any new trailers. But I'm very, very excited by that because Barbarian is one of my all-time favorite horror films. And the craziness of just kids disappearing just because they ran out at 2:17. Yeah, in the morning.
And it was like all kids from the same class or something.
Classroom. Yeah, it's the same classroom. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Clown in a Cornfield. Are you reading that book?
Yes, I'm almost done. It's a really easy read. I should have been done by now, but I kind of put it away because I started doing those other things and I started reading some other stuff. Mm-hmm. And I think it's because I was like, I'll finish this soon, so I put it away because it's a YA horror, but it's still a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it, and that's not to say YA horror is bad. I think some people hear that and they go, "Well, it's for kids," but it's really good. I really, really, really like it, and I wanted to read it because I always heard it was good. They made 2 more books, and then the movie is coming out, and some people who have watched it have been like, it's really good, and there's this thing that happens in the middle of it that's crazy, and I don't know if it's in the book because I'm almost done with it and I haven't, so I don't know if they added an element to it or maybe just the way they do it and what they're doing in it. Yeah, and I haven't finished it, but I don't know. I'm excited for it. The book's been really fun, so yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, the only other one that's coming out is Final Destination Bloodlines, which the trailer for that looks like a beer commercial, which I think maybe it's by design. But I'm like,
because
this
of
not.
In the party. Yeah.
I was like, this does not get me ready for being scared. It's just like,
well, the teaser for it was great. The teaser of the one guy in the like tattoo shop or whatever.
Oh no.
There was a teaser for it before the trailer, and it was just like a guy in a tattoo shop, and it's one of those things where the Rube Goldberg of death comes after them, and keeps like doing stuff to them, and everybody was like, "Oh, cool." And then the trailer, yeah, released like the concept kind of it. I think there's going to be more to it. Well, I'm hoping.
Yeah.
But I'll go see every Final Destination they make. I love that franchise. And I shouldn't go see it because it makes me scared to go do anything.
I
Everything.
know.
I was like, I think I'm weird about roller coasters, now, and like they're real intense. I have a problem with them. I can go on a lot of, but not. But I remember when I was younger, I was fine with all roller coasters, and I really think I watched the second one, no, the third one, and I was like, no, I don't like roller coasters anymore. So
No, I'm on when I'm on the road. We take a lot of road trips, and I'm behind
those, yeah, you see those
wood.
lumber
I'm
trucks?
behind those giant, what are they called? Tree trunks.
Yeah,
Lumber.
the lumber trucks.
Always lumber. And my fiance is just like, just driving. I'm like, get out away.
Get out of the way. Wait, do not be behind them. Yeah. That one, like, yeah, because I remember, like, the first one with planes, and that's great because I always didn't like flying, and that made it. And then the second one is the lumber and driving. The third one is roller coaster. The fourth one is a NASCAR races, which I was like, well, I don't really go to those, so. And then the fifth one was the bridge, which you're like, that's just kind of a freak thing. But the fifth one has such a great twist ending that was awesome that I loved it. So.
I should take a look.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, it does a whole. It's just a cool thing that they do. That was like, oh, that's amazing. Yeah, I'm excited for this one because I'm excited how they tell that story of where it all started or something.
Mm-hmm.
And Tony Todd was still able to do this one, so that'll be
Yeah.
nice. Yeah. I'm glad that he was able to film.
Was that his last? Is this his last?
I think this is gonna. I think so, but there may have been one other thing that he shot because he did something else, and I thought that was his last film, but I don't know. This may be, but I'm glad he was able to do this one last time. Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah, I'm excited. There's a lot of really there's a bunch of other stuff too that I keep forgetting, but I'm glad that you mentioned those because those are ones that I'm very excited about. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun year for horror.
Yeah. Well, I finally I have AMC Stubbs list finally.
Yeah, A-list, yeah. Well, you have Stubbs, you got A-list.
I think I got Stubbs.
Okay.
I don't know. My fiance bought it for me, so I'm like,
because I don't. I
Pretty
think there's a
Princess
difference,
doesn't
or
do
it's
anything
not.
for herself. Sorry,
What? What'd you say?
Pretty Princess doesn't do anything for herself.
Oh yeah, you're doing it. It signs up for it. Yeah. There may not be a difference. I can't remember. But sometimes they say it like it's two different things. But I'm like, but they call me a Stubbs member, but I'm an A-list. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Anyway, it's great because you can just watch a bunch of movies for.
Yeah, I get movies for free, and then I have the golden line.
Yeah. So then we have like the same thing. Yeah. Because now they upped it just in May. You can watch up to 4 movies a week, and they can be in any format. And yeah, you get to skip the line, and then you get points, which is actually great. You got to remember though, because I'll forget, and you look at your points, and then you have to like hit the thing to go, okay, use the points, and then it fills it up, and then when you go to the concessions or whatever, you can like take money off, and it's really nice.
Did you see the Thunderbolts? Sorry, we have to end, but did you see the Thunderbolts popcorn bucket?
Oh, the red limousine, yeah. I was like, sometimes I feel like because we were joking about how like what if they made one for every movie, and I was like, yeah, I don't know, maybe. It's fun. I think it's fun. I think it's silly, and I'm sure people wanted it. But it's funny when you can see the ones that people are like, because like nobody really, because like the Wolverine one was big, the Deadpool Wolverine. I think the Monkey one got a lot of traction. There's been some other ones that like get some things, but I understand, huh?
I think it's not. I mean, I think it's a nice like
fun,
I think it's something my dad would put on his shelf. But it's like it's
cool.
the size of an ashtray. It's like there's that much space.
To put the popcorn, because it's a weird thing to have your because you're like, what?
Or I'm not functional. Like I can't use this. Oh,
yeah, yeah. It's like I'm just gonna use a regular bucket. Yeah, that's why. So it cracks me up with some of them. But and they just released the Jaws because it's the anniversary and it's cool because it's like it's Jaws. And you can open his mouth and put the popcorn in there. And I was like, that one's pretty cool.
And I'm down with that. Because then it's like
Exactly. Like, no. I took a picture of because I showed in one of the episodes I have the one from the monkey.
Uh-huh.
And I was talking about it on my text chain with my family, my immediate family. And I took a picture and I showed them. And my mom's like, you're a liar. And I was like, that I didn't get it? She goes, that's not a popcorn bucket. That doesn't make any sense. So I took another picture. I opened it up and I showed it to her. And she was like, that's really cool. I was like, yeah, it's pretty fun. Yeah,
it's cute.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks so much for doing this.
Of course.
That's us for today. Thanks so much for everybody for listening and watching. Please like and subscribe and leave us a star if you don't mind. 5?
5.
Not too much
Stars.
to ask. Only 5
Like,
stars.
subscribe, rate.
Like, subscribe, please. We'll talk to you guys next week. Thanks so much. I'm Sarah.
I'm Nick.
Bye.
Bye.